7's notoriously on Inferno, deadly weapon. And a single from us on DGT, and they've also rolled the dice on a surprise A defense, which doesn't look like it's going to be activated. There's going to be a flash into the middle here. Mercury's just checking it out, but yeah, the bomb is going to be rolling back, so it's all on Max.
Has a luxury of the smoke, but that's about it, and that's going to fade. Gets the 1-for-1. It's not going to be good enough to hold. However, Jamyang spins around and nails DGT through the smoke. And now all three of 9Z are moving through in the bottleneck of Banana. They have the MP9s, but they don't have the range advantage. But Hwazopeak doesn't care.
Wait a minute, Luchov finds a headshot as well. Jamyang back here getting hunted down. How has it happened? Tyloo, they picked the right bomb site. Yes, they lost a player there, but like you pointed out, they got one through the smoke anyway. That is unforgivable. Tyloo should never be losing a round like this one. 9Z, if you needed any more evidence that they might be one of the strongest teams here at the tournament, I mean, this round is one of them. That's kind of shocking.
And Hwazopeak has continued his excellent performance as well. He was their top-rated player, even though they struggled to make it through the groups. He was the one guy that was having impact, and he is doing the same here. 100 ADR, 4 multi-kill rounds, and up to 14 frags. Really leading the charge for 9Z. Tyloo hanging by a thread of 4 sport into this round. If this doesn't pay off, they're 1 foot out of the quarterfinals and out of this event.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. At least it's not 1 foot of the grave, but it might almost feel that way to Tyloo again. Home crowd, perhaps silenced a bit by the fact that things are looking grim. And the lifeline that they bought themselves by winning that pistol, it doesn't extend far enough. There's not enough runway for them to really catch any speed here, unfortunately. Luchov and Max, like I said, these guys are going to be the duo that'll try and set this one up. See if Max is going to be throwing in anything here, or it's going to be the counter incendiary instead. They're running in front of it. I do like that from Tyloo. Sheer aggression right into the headshot. Max finds 3. That is so wild. A couple of quick headshots to delete some of them. G on top of the smoke, but he's found right through it. DDT can spot the traces a mile away. And now it's on Mercury. He's planted the bomb, and he's now alone against 3.
Max styling on with that triple kill, and that probably gives them this round. It's hard to see how Mercury can get this one done. They've now found him. Going to be pincering in through on Churchside and simultaneously on Coffins, and it's DGT to nail the headshot and secure a 10th round for 9Z. This is starting to get out of control. Although a plant comes through, you can see maximum money they have is 3,200. Do they run it back, Anders? Do they go for another 4 spot?
Man, I almost feel like you should at this stage. I feel like this is such a desperate situation for the Tyloo side that, yeah, you almost might as well. If they were playing, I think, I don't know, like a more structured brand of Counter-Strike, like I've seen them play somewhere last year, then I would say maybe not. Like I guess the more rational choice is to just kind of save this one out, but I don't know. I'm not seeing the kind of structure that's going to bring them back into this game right now. 10-5. They are going to go for the Glocks instead, so we'll get the more rational kind of Counter-Strike, which not against that necessarily, but I don't know. They're one way out as far as I can tell. It's just the fact that 9Z don't have the economy yet. And I guess that's the other downside of going for full Glocks here. Not to criticize it, but it just means that the low money on 9Z is very likely to explode coming into this next round.
I mean, I do respect that they still have full faith they can turn this around at 11-5 deficit. But we're starting to see Luchov waking up as we were expecting. Hwazopeak has been amongst the DGT, getting in amongst all of it. Hard to see how they can crack through this defense anytime soon. G has been really for the job, but it's primarily with the AWP, and again on the T side, it can feel like you're just starving. It's a bit of a famine on that half in terms of the opportunities that you're afforded.
Easy shot for DDT here. Spray down is in, the perfect weapon for it. Finally will go down, but again, it's all just a bit of a bonus here for 9Z. 3 kills for DDT as well. I think you said you wanted to see more out of him. He had a good run of the major and everything else, and he's up to 15-8 right now on this third map, so you're kind of getting a bit of your wish here, Vince, in that sense. I still think Luchov could be doing better, but he's definitely not weighing the team down with 9 kills at the moment. I would love to see Tyloo prove us wrong right now. I'd love to see them bounce back here, but who's going to do it? Like, my eyes are on Jam Young, even though he's got 9 kills. Like, I want to see him really power home and get some of these openings on the banana position. But he's already down to 55.
Did throw a lot of grenades for that damage. And Hozopi, did he hear the jumping? I think he did. He's in the perfect position for this. He's now spotted the pixel. Doesn't want to overcommit, though, as he knows he can be wrapped around from middle. Didn't have the players, and there was a smoke down on Archers, so correct decision. It has foregone mid-control, but it's, at least as far as 9Z are concerned, all their players still alive. They don't check the angle, and DGT sprays them down with 2.
Oh, they're so preoccupied looking for that short position or for that library position. DDT will get 1 before he's finally burned out. Triple in total. But yeah, the fact that they didn't check it absolutely wrecks them. Mayan, he's going to get the kill as well. G, I don't even think Wasopik had to repeat that. He knew that someone was going to be there, but it should be fine anyway. The backup is getting their pistols out now, and G is very low on health. He's going to be shut down by Mayan. 9C, close to putting Tyloo away in this game, and in a very convincing fashion. First half, it was Wasopik just defeating Jam Young over at the B-bomb site, round after round. And in the second half, it really feels like Tyloo's they've run out of steam. I hate to say it, but where's the passion and where's the excitement that we normally think of with Tyloo? Like, normally they can get rounds by just shooting so incredibly hard, but that hasn't really been proven. Not in the second half.
Yeah, 9Z have done their best to smother Tyloo. And you've got to respect that from 9Z, showing that the quarterfinals of the major was no fluke. Yes, the opening stages of this event were rough, but they've started to arrive now. And they could even secure this even more one-handedly than they did last time. They met each other at the major. It was a 13-6 in favor of 9Z. It's about to be a 13-5 as DGT sprays in 2 and lands a headshot. Oh, in fact, it wasn't. It looked like it was dead on to me, but 2 kills still more than good enough.
It is that right there, Vince. That's the round that they wish they could have had in the first half, Tyloo, when they were pushing 0 down the middle. They had that dream in mind, and it's 9C actually fulfilling their dream, which is kind of an interesting irony. Now they're trapped. They're locked into Banana. We said this in the first half. You don't want to be here as a T side. I mean, it's fine to be on Banana, but you want to be able to pretend that you might be in Palace or in the apartments, or that you might be up towards the middle. The fact that you can't put any pressure on those positions just makes it very, very rough. And they're falling back with 40 seconds left. I don't even know what the plan is. I suppose you could throw a couple of grenades up towards the middle and then go back to Banana, but this is so rough at the moment. 30 seconds left for Tyloo. They're surely going to be found. Wasopik just waiting for the timing. He's actually spotted out. It's a bit weird and a bit awkward. Now they're going back to the A-bomb site. Flash is coming out here. And Wasopik, he doesn't fight it. He wants to wait for the teammates. This is a weird round.
I kind of love it, though. It's an early warning system for his teammates. He was playing an awkward angle to get killed instantly. And now he can act as that linchpin, that fulcrum point they can play off. As long as he's alive and shows some kind of presence in the balcony, in the apps, it's going to force one set of eyes away, and they can really make the most of this 4v2.
If they win this round, then maybe it's back on, but I doubt it. The retake is looking good. So far, 0 is going to get the 1, but that's all they could get. 9C managed to eliminate Tyloo here. Retake is going to be just fine with the kid in the back pocket here. 13-5 on the final map of Inferno. So well played. A 9C team that, have looked a bit shaky throughout the tournament at times, but absolutely bouncing back in this one. The quarterfinal is theirs.
After a 4-1 lead, Tyloo conceded the map by only picking up 1 more round, which was the second pistol round. They won both pistol rounds and got 5 on Inferno. That is how dominant this 9Z squad was to seal the deal for this quarterfinals. Tyloo were never really in this map when it counted.
Yeah, unfortunately, and there was so much excitement, I feel like, from them coming out of Mirage. Like, you could just see that. On an individual level, when it came to the firepower, they looked tremendously strong. We wanted to see that same energy brought into the third map, but it just wasn't there. I guess it is cool to see because this is always going to be a chance that people will leverage against any team that does well at a major. People always say, oh, it's a bit of a fluke, like, you know, they can't do that again or whatever. So I'm really happy to see 9C kind of, you know, plowing on and still just doing great work here in, you know, in another LAN tournament.
好的，我们恭喜9G拿下这场比赛的胜利，也顶住了压力，来，掌声送给他们。好，我们也请来了 DGT 和这个 Lucha 进行采访。那么我先问一下，就是队长在这个赛前采访时候说了，就是呢，这个1/4决赛对于你们来说是一个坎儿。那么现在终于翻过了这个坎儿呢，感觉怎么样 ？So guys, Max spoke about the quarterfinals being a barrier for you guys. You guys weren't able to cross it, but now that you finally crossed it, how does it feel for you guys?
It feels really good, like a chapter we made that we couldn't in another tournaments. So I think it will be good for us and for the next matches.
感觉非常好，这对于我们全队是非常好的一件事情，就感觉就是这个章节终于结束了，我们终于可以翻篇了。
On Mirage for you guys, it was 6-6 at the half. You looked like you got a chance, but in the second half, it starts to fall apart. What went wrong for you guys? What was missing there in order not to be able to come in stronger?
For me, the Mirage, it was a little hard because for us, our game plan not was the best, and I think our communication is the same. Not was the best, but I think we started very good in Inferno. We talked about some things after the Mirage, and I think it worked very well for us.
教练也出了一些问题，但是图3 Inferno 我们确实打得非常好。那么我们就问一下这个图3这个 Inferno， 我感觉他们上半场真的是打了一个教科书一般的这个进攻方。我想问一下大家，这个是怎么做到的 ？So you mentioned Inferno being very good for you guys, and I want to ask, you guys lost pistol on the first half, and yet you finished with 8 terrorist rounds. So how are you guys able to kind of pick apart the defense and just put pressure on them?
I think we talk about not taking first kills and start to execute 5v5. So take the space slow and try to execute together. And I think that was the cue because we made a lot of trades. The last round they were stake 4v and we win the round. So I think it was the key for us.
就我们刚才 Inferno 打的就没有非常急躁，其实我们的计划呢就是不去拼这个首杀啊，因为上来就可能这个风险会比较大，我们就是打的就是一点都不着急，打得非常的耐心，我们就注重我们战术的执行，然后爆弹，尤其是最后一局对面还剩4个人，他们赌了4B，然后我们还是赢下了这一局。
Now, there was a lot of people worried about the performance you guys showed in the group stage. This was obviously much better coming into playoffs. Have we got the best version of 9Z back now, ready to go far, ready to go towards this trophy?
For me, I think we can be better, but we played really well today, and we need to be better for the next match if we want to win the tournament. But I think we are improving.
我们今天的状态确实比我们小组赛的时候要好，但是我觉得我们还是有机会来到一个更好的状态，因为我们如果想赢的话，状态还要比今天还要更好才行。
And lastly, from both of you, any words for everyone in the arena right now?
谢谢 guys, let's go.
Thank you very much for all the people who came here. The flag there, Vamos 9C, really good. And thank you for all the people who are supporting us. And it's really nice to play here. And all people is very kind, so thank you all.
也是非常感谢所有来到现场看我们比赛的观众朋友啊，然后那边还有一个9Z Vamos 的一个旗啊，也是非常谢谢大家来看我们的比赛，谢谢大家给我们欢呼和掌声，谢谢大家。
And on that note, Guangzhou, your first team through to the semi-finals, DGT, Luchov, and 9Z!
Himself the hat-trick before Mercury gets rid of it. Is something brewing here for Mercury, though, from nowhere. Captain's put on 3 and looking to close this. But Mercury can't quite do it. Walks that one over to the line. Shot connects for Jay, cleanly done. There's the support for Belchnok, who puts up one more, but right now it's all about James. It's all about this AWP.
When the baseline drops, whole damn room make the floorboards walk, drunk, gonna hit so cold, lose your mind when the low end blows. Turn it up, let the speakers bleed, and break beat full of energy.
Still had that crossbar, hit with a double kill. Pressure back as the Deagle headshot in. Too much for Twist to handle.
Or is it?
Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe there's magic in the base jersey once more.
Aggressive down middle. Straight into the fights. Rops and Mezzi. For Kimbroki and Rops. All right, Twist run this back. We've got Twist making his way down mid to catch Rops, and it's going to be an execution from behind. Oh, no way. Twist with another one.
Break your neck when the baseline drops.
He's active. Oh, he draw attention with it. Doesn't matter. Quick adjustment. Froze is playing the game with the sound cues himself. Anticipates the swing. It's a massive round.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to go. It is going to be the next quarterfinals here at the XSC Pro League in China. We've got Nemesis versus Alliance. I'm Anders, with me is Vince, and I believe we've almost got everyone ready. Vince, what kind of a game do we have coming up? You got any strong feelings about this one?
I think it's going to be close. I can see it going 3 maps. Obviously, we don't know what the veto is just yet, but I think they're very evenly matched, Anders. And it's a couple of teams that have played quite a lot against each other over the last sort of 6 months as well. They've got 4 or 5 maps played. Typically, it factors into Inferno, so we could very well see that again. But I think they're pretty evenly matched, man. Like, it's 36th in the world versus 28th in the world, effectively. So I think we're in for a close one here.
I hope so. I'm excited and a bit surprised that both these teams managed to make it through onto this stage of the tournament, but a great opportunity really for I think for both sides here to find some kind of an impact, and the deeper you can go, the more VRS, the more prize pool. It's $1 million tournament here, so there's a lot to be fighting for. Alliance, they picked up Bob XD from Eyeballers, who otherwise I think have been playing pretty well. And Nemesis, they are one of these teams, I would say one of these like CIS teams that's always dangerous. Like, they play so much Counter-Strike, it's unreasonable. You just have to be ready. So yeah, this could be a brutal game. I think it'll be exciting. I don't think Nemesis are going to be playing slow and boring Counter-Strike. I think they're going to be ready to fight, and hopefully Alliance will be as well. I'm excited for this match. I think it's got less name power than the first one that we just had with Tyloo and 9C, but I think both these teams could be very fun to watch.
No, I agree with you. I definitely do. I mean, Nemesis have been grinding an insane amount. We only have data for 5 maps because obviously Overpass was removed, but in Ancient, Nuke, Inferno, Mirage, and Dust 2, they have 55 maps played over the last 3 months, which is kind of wild. The Instaban is Anubis, and they haven't adopted Cash yet. We'll see if that changes in this best of 3. It's possible it will. But Alliance also are grinders. Like, they've played a ton as well, roughly around the same amount of maps. So it's another reason why I think it's quite an evenly matched event here between these two. And they typically play the same kind of caliber of Counter-Strike as well, like sort of tier 2, 1.5 bracket. So yeah, I'm going to be fascinated to see how things go. I was about to say we're ready to jump into Nuke, but it seems like we do have a tech pause. So may have to stay just a bit longer. But to put it into perspective, I mean, you touched on it there, Anders, about Nemesis being one of these kind of exciting up-and-coming CIS region teams. It is the bulk of the former Gun 5 roster, of course, and the average age of this team is actually only 21 years of age. Their oldest is Celta, who's their IGL. He's 23. And the youngest is Texi, who's 19. So a very exciting up-and-coming bunch of players here.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things that makes them so dangerous. They play an enormous amount of Counter-Strike. They've got the passion, the energy for it. They're stuck a lot of the times in that sort of tier 2 space where they end up playing, an endless, never-ending amount of CS. So you're always going to be ready. You're always going to be, ready to fight on any given day. And I think that does make them dangerous. We've seen it many times in the last year and a half, how some of these teams that come in with just absurd amounts of maps played and ready to grind, they are they're better than you expect, even if you don't necessarily recognize every single player here. But I mean, I think Result is one of those. He's one of those players that I think he made his real debut playing around the Paris Major, I think, when people started kind of having a bit of an eye for him, and he's been around ever since. I think, showing interesting stuff. So definitely a play that's worth watching for, in my opinion. We'll see. I think the tech issues have been resolved. It looked like we're going into this game. So buckle up, everybody. It is going to be Nuke in the opening, Inferno second, and Ancient to the side if we get there.
Yes, sir. And as you just touched on with Result, formerly of Forza, Aurora, and 9 Pandas, of course. A bulk of these players have played together multiple times. S-Dame's another one, Amcal, Sprout. So even if they're not the most known players, they have a ton of experience is what I'm getting at. And Nemesis kicking things off on this T side, looking to pick up the pace and just get on the A side straight away.
Okay, I like this no-nonsense Counter-Strike. We push straight onto the A bomb side. And already Texi getting the first kill there. Era goes down. I guess you could have made an argument that he should have waited for the rest of the team instead of trying to push in early on, but he felt like he had an opportunity. Good flank from Avid. He's going to be getting the first one there, but Sadime is going to get one immediately afterwards. So 4 versus 3. The bomb is planted. There's no kit in play either in the round, and not that it really matters. They're not even getting close to a defuse here. It will just be the T side of Nemesis picking up the pistol. Great work. Nothing complicated. You know, just knock him out on that A defense.
Yeah, Nuke is by far and away the best map statistically for Nemesis. 91% win rate over 10 maps played, but next up is Inferno, which is Alliance's best. And again, as I mentioned before, they have played Inferno against each other twice in the last 6 months. Alliance winning both times. So it just goes to show that this could be a real back and forth encounter between these two. And Texi already off the mark. Magiki is another Kazakhstani AWPer. It's an embarrassment of riches that those guys have, man. Like, we've got Molodoy, obviously. Another very young AWPer here in Magiki, who could be kind of like one of those players to watch out for in the upcoming year or two.
Yeah. CIS scene is so strong when it comes to that stuff. Okay, nice kill. Gonna avoid any kind of danger down below. And that was also the last player that's really playing towards that B-bomb side at the moment. So they are not in any kind of a hurry, but eventually they'll probably put the pieces together. Era with the scout outside. I guess that could be one of the potential dangers. Ooh, Bob XD hoping for a shot there, but I feel like they're putting this down together pretty nicely. I'm not surprised. Nemesis here. They do have a lot of experience. Era not going to hit any of those scout headshots that you're hoping for. So yeah, you invest a bit into this round of your Alliance. You don't really get the result that you're looking for, but it's not the end of the world. You probably knew that it was going to be, yeah, a bit of a prayer here. Uppy is the last one left. And that means Nemesis is going to pick up another round. Still early days on Nuke, but I like their approach to this one. Like, not exactly slow, but I would say some measured Counter-Strike coming out from the T side in this round.
Yeah, being diligent, not getting carried away and forcing their way in a stubborn manner. Like, kind of being bullish about this, slow and steady and patient. They know it's a force buy as well, so of course this next round is going to be more than likely an eco. What are those patches on their heads? I've just noticed that. There's 2 players with like white patch on their forehead. What is that all about?
I guess it could be like menthol kind of thing. Like if you have a bit of a cold or something, maybe that's kind of the memes that we're working with here. But that's a good question. Otherwise, it's like new technology. They've got like brainwave interfaces, Vince, where, you know, we're at that stage.
Telepathic communications to their teammates.
Yeah, they have like, they've hired Donk to play for one of them. He's just operating he's operating the person from a distance. Why not? Why not? Eventually we'll get there and we'll have to adjust for that kind of thing. Like, how much do you think it would cost to rent Donk for a day to play for your team, but in like somebody else's skin? Sorry, that's a mad sentence, but probably going to be a couple of thousands a day.
Taken out of context, that is mental. Well, it would be Texi at the moment. He's 6-0, so he is channeling his inner Donk. That's a beautiful boost up, and Uppy's got himself a kill for it. It's double stack as well. Not something you see too often, but they have to deal with the fact that Texi is now there, and he is feeling it. Another 3 kills. Yeah, sure, it's against an eco, but he's already up to 9-0 in 3rd round.
I love that boost. That's just a lot of fun. They don't get more than the kill for it here, but you know what? It made the round a bit more interesting. First 3 are down and out. It means we get to move into round number 4. And yeah, this is where we finally get a chance to see what Alliance are all about. I believe Twist is going to be playing the ramp. I think Uppy is anchoring that A site. And I guess the fun thing will be to see how Era is going to be playing with the AWP once he kind of manages to pick it up. Okay, they actually did it. So he's going to be picking up the AWP, which I guess it makes sense. It will mean he doesn't have a lot of utility to play with. I think it's a worthwhile investment on a map like Nuke.
Yeah, especially as he is actually their top-rated player as well. He is very powerful with the AWP. It's not like a... I don't want to kind of throw him under the bus here, but it's not like a main situation where if he drops down to a rifle, you know he's still going to be really solid with it, but maybe doesn't have that same level of impact with the AWP. Reminds me a bit of Afro from Monty, especially on a map like Nuke. You want him with the AWP as fast as possible. So let's see if Era can deliver on that promise. He misses the shot, short's flash, and he gets stuck on the railings. He's a goner.
That is a fairly committed position. He probably did want to jump down, like you pointed out, but he was so blind. He couldn't see a thing that was going on. Now, Twister's down here. Window's been blown open, and they're going to smoke it off just to be extra sure. Grenade, it's a nice attempt, but they're not even in a hurry here. Nemesis, they're waiting around for it. Pretty clever. That could have been a way to get a kill there if they would have kept on pushing straight into the smoke HG combination. The door being open now, but the bomb is already planted here. I do love everything about this from Nemesis. Good flash coming in, and Twister's going to be able to take down Celta. That's a step in the right direction, but Result comes in with two headshots so far. He's finally down by Oppie, and Magic Key will get the one, but Avid low on health already. It was going to be very, very hard to get onto that bomb site. Man, this is great work for Nemesis. The forward push in the beginning to ramp was like, it was well timed, a lot of aggression, great flashbangs. But they didn't overextend down into the B bomb site. They knew that there was a chance that someone would have rotated, and they could have run into a bit of a setup there. So really cool to see them change the pace in the middle of that round.
Yeah, I genuinely thought about the kind of like status quo of Counter-Strike and which teams might be jockeying with the VRS to get into the Singapore Major, which of course is up next at the end of the year. And Nemesis is one of those teams that I had highlighted, man, because I really do believe that they go under a lot of people's radar of just how good this team is. Typically, Stame or Result are their two sort of like star-studded, really solid players. And so far, it's been Taxi that's actually took over. There's another one. Terrifying team in this kind of form. And although Era had a couple of chances with the scout, it's going to go begging. MP9 is going to try and mess with these two riflers, but now there is strength in numbers, and Twist can do little about this as three players quickly just submerge him.
They are low on two of those players, though, so in a weird kind of way, this could still be an awkward round, although are they going to go up? If they actually went up, that would have been really sick to the A-bomb site. Now they're committed. They planted the bomb down at B, which they're still able to do, but again, Texi and Magic Key, they're both very low on health, so you got to be careful here that you don't mess up this round, because it started so nicely. Texi having himself a wonderful game at 10-1, like you've been pointing out. Uppy looking for it. A missed shot on the first one, and Texi won't miss the opportunity here. Era now in a 1 versus 3. He's got the first one with the scout, but I think that's probably the best you can hope for, unfortunately. Finding the last two and defusing the bomb is just not going to happen, so what a brutal start here. Nemesis looking to claim 5 in a row to begin with. And Alliance never really kind of getting off the ground yet. Their money isn't where you'd want it to be. And individually, we haven't seen anything super crazy here. Top fragging is Twist with 3 kills across 5 rounds. We need more.
That kind of looks foolish at the end for Era, but to take into account they're on max round loss bonus now, plus the economy changes, obviously, that came in a while ago with 4 kills. They're going to be more than capable of buying the AWP. He doesn't want to save the scout when you're eyeing up a 5-0 scoreline. So he was going hunting, I believe, for an AK. He knew a bunch of players died around Secret. Didn't end up happening. True. Does have the AWP regardless. But this is where you're looking for Alliance to wake up, because they've quickly gone down 5-0, and Nemesis are just on a different level at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of now or never, which is crazy to say because we're really, just got the match started. It's been pretty quick. Magic Key, I think you saw the shoulder many times there. Era goes down. That's a very deliberate and dedicated peek to take down the open garage. And they're going to go quick afterwards. Smoking up. A lot of smokes, in fact, to make it across 3 in total. But again, it makes it very, very hard for the CTs to blow open with 1 HE. And that's pretty much what they are banking on. Getting their way through. Now they're wrapping around. I do like this push from Alliance, though. Pushing in to try and take over lobby. But the thing is, they've lost so much map control everywhere else that they might not realize exactly where the T players are. I think especially Texi, the way that he's moved here, he could be very hard to read.
They're already maneuvering up into heaven. Meanwhile, there's loads of misdirection thrown downstairs. It's drawn out 2 of the 4 players already onto the B side. And there's still 40 seconds on the clock, and Result wants to get down into decon.
How are they going to play this? You'd want to see Texi presumably make some sort of a move as soon as a rotation is happening. 30 seconds. They open up the door. Oh, and Celta still goes down. Abid able to pick him off. They're on the high ground, though, and they do realize that Bob XD could be around here somewhere. He is playing that A door a lot of the time. Twist is going to get results. I can't believe that Alliance are fighting and clawing their way back into this round. Look at Bob XD. He's gone unnoticed all the way around. What a wrap from him. And Texi can't even get the gun out in time. It's a nice attempt there, but honestly, given the positions in this round, I would have assumed that would have been a Nemesis round almost every single time.
Yeah, right alongside with you, especially after they got that opening pick. Era finally gets his hands on the AWP for the second time, and it's just instantly taken away. It felt like that was just the beginning of another incredibly one-sided affair. Got downstairs, but credit to Alliance. They're holding on for dear life. They know the importance of making this a somewhat competitive game. And I mean, the veto was kind of interesting as well, Anders, because I've just looked into it, and the first ban was Mirage. Fair enough, they don't play it, and Nemesis are very good on Mirage. But then they banned Cash, which is odd because Nemesis don't play Cash either, so I feel like they've kind of put themselves in an awkward spot for this veto.
Yeah, one of those times where it would have been fun to see a team have a surprise pick. I mean, you're not going to have a lot of time to practice Cash, but surely you can get in some of the basics, especially if, you know, if you can make yourselves king of a new map early on, that should be a benefit. Didn't turn out to be the case. That is kind of interesting, yeah. We've ended up on Nuke instead. 5-1. They win that round, and it's a pretty good victory, but their money is still not looking great here on the CT side, so not out of the woods yet, I would say. Smoke is fading. One of them is being recommitted, but they're expecting more of a CT push here. I think Nemesis are waiting around for something to happen. Era, see if he can land this AWP shot. He'll spot out one player, but there's a lot on the other side. Good shot, though. Breaks open the glass and takes down Texi, who's been the main problem for them so far. And Result's also very low on health. That's a quick flick from Era. That looked like he was shooting him in the feet, but he somehow landed the headshot anyway. So far, so good. Seltzer, though. Oh, he was on a mission there. He could have had the double spray down. It's not over yet either. Stame taking down one, and now Results and a player left here. 28 seconds.
Yeah, they need to start jamming together, though. Stame is trying to do what he can on the site, but he needs Result to come through on the main. He's only on 13 HP, and he's the bomb carrier. Stame, though, is up there, peering into vents. It's the player in hut that's probably going to seal the deal here. Whether he gets a kill or not probably turns this round, and it is. It's going to be Uppy that shows his hand, takes the kill, falls back, knows the bomb is down, and they will just lose to time. Now the only question left is if he can hold on to this AK, and the answer is a resounding no.
Straight stolen from him. Also the chance for an AWP in front of him, but he got none of it, so a little bit unfortunate there. All right, some tentative fist bumps are coming out now on the Alliance side of things. Man, these are some very scary rounds for them, but as long as they can make their way through, then everything is going to be forgiven here. It's not too late to salvage the first half, even if Nemesis came out with a bang at the beginning. It was fun to see. But let's not get too carried away here. Timeout has been called. An opportunity for everyone to talk things through. And I don't know, like, apart from anything else, I feel like at this stage, you just want to see the Alliance players kind of feel like they have a foothold on the server. Like, it's hard to talk about a lot of tactics when you're getting blown up by someone like Texi early on and he's kind of wrecking the team. Like, you need to slow that down. And Era certainly did that in his rounds. Very good work for him.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Hero. Those 3 kills are worth their weight in gold. And it's off the back of him having, like, let's be honest, a really rough first 5 or so rounds. When he started to get the AWP back in play, that's where we've seen him carry that weight, the burden that is the AWP from time to time. And I do agree with you. Like, you can have all the tactics, all the fine trimmings, all the fancy stuff, but at the end of the day, if you're just getting out-fragged on the server, their aim is on and yours isn't. It really doesn't count for much. The smoke's going to start to fade. An Era, different angle, but backs away. Gives up a little bit of room, and that's going to afford the T's now to bypass through the smoke. None of the CT's interested in blowing open the smoke wall, and that's allowing Nemesis to close the gap downstairs.
This is kind of dangerous. If Avid can get a kill and escape, it's fine, but if he dies and gets traded, then it's probably going to be a bomb plant here, and great timing. 3 people through the smoke. I don't know how he's supposed to be able to spray them down. Not in that moment, so let's see how quick they're going to be. Bomb is with them. That's all they needed. Like you said, they slipped past. Nobody realized they were all the way down. Stame is here. Oh, it's going to be a fine little burst there with the Tech-9. He's going to be taking down Uppy, and now the question is, could he drop Bob XD as well? If he had, that's the round immediately over and done with, but it's still very tricky. They're retaking with 1 AWP, and Bob XD's position is kind of known, so you can see Result. He's just waiting here for them. This is Somehow Nemesis walking into this round, you can see Alliance, they've given up. They don't realize they can't win this round here. What a W for Nemesis.
Yeah, and what a horrible L for Alliance, right? And you kind of called it, you nailed it. One and done is not good enough downstairs for Avid. But this is why a lot of CT sides, it's not just about getting a pick on the cross, it's about the intel that comes with it. If you blow open the smoke and you see 2 or 3 players pushing into secret, right, cool, we send a second player downstairs. Because they don't do that, it puts all the pressure on Avid's shoulders.
Yeah, it really did. I guess there is something to be said about the idea that he is playing a position where he's more committed to the fight. There are definitely other ways to play that, where he's, if he's back on the stairs, he could have, hung around a little bit more and maybe, taken a fight, fallen back immediately. I'll say this though, we have a new update from the chat, Kick chat, Vince. A theory on what those pads on their foreheads are. Somebody said maybe it's like a gambling sponsor that they have to block out. I think that's a great idea. That's a powerful thinking. Well done.
They've done the Gerard Leto, tattooed their betting sponsor on their forehead.
Exactly.
Instead of damage.
That's great. Oh, Hira outside. Forget about the sponsors for a second here. He's going to get 2 kills. That's one of the reasons why very often you will see the T side Molotov the CT side of that container to stop anyone from being there. But that is not the case here. And instead, they get wrecked. 2-for-1 trade. Magic Key. Get the 1 kill in return there. But it's all on Nemesis. How do you negotiate your way back into this round? Well, not like that. Uppy and Avid get a kill each. And Selter, I was going to say just a formality to find him, but don't give him those kind of opportunities. Twist will drop him. And Alliance are clawing their way back. The Swedes, they have come alive a bit here. It was a little bit... It was fun to see Nemesis play well, but it was a bit stale at the beginning. It looked like it was going to be one of those one-sided matches, but not the case. Well played, Alliance.
Yeah, that's one hell of a way to answer back from Iru again. He's had so much impact in these last 2 or 3 rounds. But what a callback after getting wrecked in the previous round off that push-down secret to bounce back with authority to take the round and force your opposition into an eco. In fact, no, an force buy, pardon me, with a terrible economy. Kind of weird and disjointed as well. Estain was way ahead of the rest of the pack. They were still in spawn. I assume they were lining up some grenades. Or hot and conversation as to what to do in this round. They've slowed down the pace just a tad, but that's allowing Bob XD to move into Squeaky. But who else but Era once again to put the AWP to use?
Yeah, you said he was going to be impactful with the AWP, and he's really delivered so far. Kind of brought his team back into this in every way that matters. Bob XD, it's a good spray down on the first 2. Stuck around maybe a bit longer than you would have needed to, but it's not a big deal at this stage. It's a 2-man lead. Avid's 1 position to hold here, and it's an easy shot on the Texi. They finally got him a bit under control, and now a result 1 versus 4. And Alliance, if they get up to 6 rounds here, I mean, I think they kind of need to, just to keep Nemesis, keep the emotions a bit low on their side, and keep them on 6 rounds. But if they get up to a 6-6 scoreline, I think Alliance will walk away thinking, all right, this actually, I mean, it could have been better, but it's a pretty sweet result given how this all got started here. Twist goes down, and it's a 1 versus 4 for results. He's so far got a kill. Bomb plant's going to be very, very tricky. He's trying to spend every single second here. 25 of them left. Relocating back around. See if he could find any lone CT players, but this clock is really running down for him.
Yeah, he may even think about saving, because again, keep in mind that their money is garbage. So they're going to have nothing to the next round if he doesn't hold on to this AK. He will go down. At least it's before time, so it's not doubly punishing. But yes, Era has had a ton of impact, and it goes to show why they were trying to really build around the idea of having him with the AWP in his hands as soon as possible. And the really impressive thing to me as well, Anders, is every round he's playing a different position. We saw him have impact in lockers, in heaven, outside on red container, up close, in garage. It's really difficult to counter-strat or counter-play a guy that is omnipresent, and you never know where he's going to show up next.
Yeah, which is definitely one of the aspects of the AWP in a map like, again, like Counter-Strike. Sometimes people kind of forget about it. They think it's just down to the AWP versus AWP battle. And that can happen sometimes, but I think, like you said, the annoying part of never really knowing, God, it's not a lot of outline. I don't even know how he sees that. But yeah, I agree. Era, he's been everywhere. I remember it started this well with him holding the ramp and getting flashed and killed, and it wasn't even like necessarily the hottest start for him as soon as he picked up the AWP, but man, he's recovered well for it. We're down to the last 2 rounds at the moment here, and like you pointed out, the money just isn't there, which is why saving the AK in the previous round would have made sense. Not able to. Nemesis, can they have any sort of an impact? They really shouldn't in a round like this one. This should be a bit of a freebie for Alliance.
You're a different position this time in Squeaky, but I have to say, I love the aggression. This is where you could fall prey to the fact that you're against just a bunch of pistols here, but he has strength in numbers. All right, it all works out. Bob XD and Avid had him covered, and now Celta, the IGL for Nemesis, limps downstairs. Full HP, but against a full opposition team. He does have the bomb. I don't know if anyone's on B site. He might actually get this, you know. He's completely sold them out on this, and he's got the bomb plant out of nowhere.
It's actually kind of a big deal. Like, you get the end, they could easily give them like another couple of grenades, or maybe even a chance for like an extra AK or something like that. We'll see how the loss bonus actually picks up here, but yeah, really well done. Yeah, I mean, if they wanted the AWP armor, then they even could go that far, with Result just having enough to buy an armor for himself as well. Very interesting. Maybe a bit of a slip up. Not the end of the world, to be honest, for the Alliance side. I think they're just happy to be back in this game, which it looked like for a minute they weren't going to be able to be at all. But yeah, the Swedes not surrendering quite so easily. Look at the scoreboard as well. Like, everyone on the Alliance side has kind of shot up all of a sudden. They're ready to play. Round number 12. And Nemesis, can they at least get the last round across the line here? I think that would just be mentally a bit different for them if they could just pick it up here. But they're actually running into the incendiary. I haven't heard that. He knows that they're on the other side, flashing his way through. Ira's there to help out with the flashbang. That is such a great pickup. Couple of kills there. Twist only with the one, but he's got Bob XD behind him. And again, it's all on Result. Another 1 versus 4. He couldn't do the last one. I doubt he could do this one.
I know this game hasn't been his hottest so far, but he typically is their star player. So if there's a guy you'd want in this position, it's Result. But it's not going to happen. Uppy finishes off the weakened star, and they will bring it back to 6-6. And when you consider it was 5-0 at one point, complete domination, I think Alliance will be ecstatic at that comeback.
Yeah, you should be. You should be. This is the kind of game that it could have got so much worse here. The money was broken. They didn't really have anyone firing off anywhere. And at the end of the day, it was Ira that really woke up and made the difference. So impressive work for him individually. But thankfully, it wasn't just him, right? Once he was hitting the shots with the AWP, they kind of got more people online, and they look good to go. Might be a case of like a little bit of a flu going around there on the Alliance side. I'm seeing the meds have come out, which... normally, we need the meds for the viewers, to be honest, Vince. They are in dire need, if I'm going to be totally honest. But I guess the players can have some too. That's good.
Yeah, we saw Mojia with the mask on earlier. He looked, honestly, every time I went to him, he looked so tired and exhausted. So it wouldn't surprise me. I think you might be onto something, because like I don't know if you've ever had sinus problems before, Anders, but it is miserable. And so maybe those patches to try and help with the sinuses, which can definitely help a tremendous amount, especially when you're trying to focus in a CS server with $1 million up for grabs in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, not the time that you want to be feeling under the weather at all, but can't control these things, of course. They've been fighting through it, to be honest. You can't tell on the server that that's the problem. So, yeah, keep at it, and they can rest once the battle is done here. Great comeback for Alliance. Second half, and we'll see how Nemesis fare once they get to play on the CT side themselves. Definitely, again, this is a map that they do play, and I expect them to be strong on the CT side as well. So I don't want to see them kind of crash out too early on here. And I'm curious to see how Magic Key is going to be playing with the AWP, like how he's going to be faring, because Ira set a pretty high bar, to be honest.
Yes, yeah, that is fair. And Magic, he didn't have a fantastic first half, to be fair. It's not that he played bad, just he didn't have too much to do ultimately. So if he can get that AWP in his hands early doors, it'll be fascinating to see how the two compare to one another. I did mention before about Afro. You know, we've casted quite a lot of Monty in recent months. We've been very impressed with him. And I do actually think that Magic Key in particular is probably the stronger op as far as I'm concerned on Nuke. Having seen him play quite a few times, I think he definitely can have quite a lot of impact on the CT side. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. Era overall, I will say, is probably stronger across the rest of the maps. So it's always fascinating to see these different styles of AWPers and how they kind of factor in and bed themselves into games.
I am definitely excited for it. Should be coming up in a couple of seconds here with the second half of Nuke. And yeah, all in all, it's been kind of a bumpy ride for both teams, but we're locked in and ready. And let's just see, there is no kit in play. There is a smoke, however, and one set of dualies on results. I've seen him do some nasty work with the dualies in the past, but it's the P250 of Era. Look at him. Crisp and clicking away at Magic Key. You love to see that. He's ready for the challenge. If you want to fight him outside, he looks like he is sewn into the game. That's a great start.
It's kind of fascinating. It's a weird thing to pick up on, but he's looking at Secret and he takes his hand off the mouse to itch his back. That's kind of wild. Imagine you got peaked in that moment. You'd be absolutely furious, but he was obviously assuming the timing was on his favor. Restart, though, through the smoke, nails Avid, but then they return the favor with Bob XD's Glock.
Oh, and some problems here as well. Texi's going to be going down. They did land a kill on the Twist, but Sadime is the last one left. Now, normally he's the ramp player, so if they walk in here and get surprised, that would probably be the reason why, that they're not expecting him to be there already. But they're taking a sweet time, and I appreciate that for Alliance here. Trying to make sure they don't leave anything uncovered, that they're not making any big assumptions. Looks like they are thinking about that ladder, but again, they haven't seen or heard him anywhere. This is a long time without any information. Still got about 30 seconds left. He's got one opportunity here to really land a quick early headshot, and there we go. It's a follow-up. My God, what a sequence from Sadime. That is ridiculous.
Oh, and he enjoyed every single second of it, showboating to the crowd. Insane aim from a guy that's maybe been a little bit on the quiet side, but he is right up there with Resalt in terms of the heavy hitters on this server. Still only in his early 20s. Unbelievable. And it looked like it was just GG for this pistol round. Everything went in Alliance's favor, but look at that. The precision, the surgical strikes. Unbelievable.
That is phenomenal. Can't believe that. Again, they were playing very, very careful there, Alliance. It's not like they just assumed, oh, the ramp player is missing, he's probably going to be ramp. They really try to be sure that they didn't leave any kind of page unturned, but still couldn't contend with the headshots, and who could blame them? That happened so quick. He never really exposed himself to more than one player at a time either. I don't know how they could have played that very differently. No bomb plant. And Nemesis again, losing, what, 6 rounds in a row to finish the first half with. I feel like they needed a bit of a comeback here, and winning the pistol round surely will get them fired up once again. Texi, not going to be able to continue the spray down, but Avid and Uppy in a 2 versus 3. Make it a 1 versus 3 here. So Nemesis looking to pick up and secure this map. And, I mean, yeah, this is, yeah, just littering bodies outside. It's going to be Uppy going down. It is very well played, and honestly, yeah, I'm not surprised if Nemesis bounce back and win the second half of this stage, because I feel like once you get that 1 versus 3 in the pistol round, the whole team is going to be fired up.
Yeah, the really disappointing element for Alliance on this is, of course, this is Nemesis' choice of map, which you'd give them the favorites on anyway in terms of the win percentage they have. I mean, this is Nemesis' best map, just straight up statistically. But it's also the fact that Alliance would have Inferno coming up next, which heavily favors them as far as I'm concerned. So you know you could have maybe got this map done in 2. I know you don't want to take yourself too far out of the current and the present and you know, look at the big picture too much, but they'll know they had them on the ropes. It's going to be a bitter pill to swallow, and they've already lost Avid in this rifle round. Outside control, being attained, though, from Bob XD's AK as he falls back into the shadow of the smoke. And they're also pushing on A, and Resalt had no idea.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, how's that ever allowed to be happening? Like, why are they allowed to walk out into the A side like that? He's lost his teammate in upper, but if that happens, then you'd want to see that HUD player being aware or relocating in some way. It felt like that was a bit of a miscommunication there on the defense. Because they had the opening, and honestly, for Alliance, it looked kind of confusing. It looked like there was way too much chaos happening in the yard. Bob XD caught in the open. He won the fight, which is kind of cool, but there was a lot of ways that could have turned out differently. What a mad round. Alliance pick it up, and that changes the story once again. Whatever momentum Nemesis had, that's going to be cooled down once more, and they have to worry about their own economy once again. So, huge round, and unexpected. Again, I'd love to see how they were allowed to sneak out like that.
Yeah, I have to assume it's just a timing thing. The flash was pretty good, but he had his back turned and there was just no one home. No one heaven. No one second vents watching for the push. It's just one of those opportune moments to strike, and they made sure that they were true and fast with it. And so Alliance, yeah, you can be disappointed about that pistol round, but they're now back into a really solid position. Also, getting dragged down into these slums and these weird back and forth economic downturns is going to put the all out of Magicky's hand, should I say, for even longer. Can't afford it in this one. Ton of grenades come through, and now the T's looking to pivot in, but they've lost themselves the first life.
What a commitment from Celta. He knew that they were going to try and come through. He sat in the fire to spray them down. Result's going to get the one, but they actually twist now. Stepping up with a couple of kills. They're trying to find another gun. There's no more bullets in his. Era hunting down Texi, and suddenly it's a 1v1. But like I said, they know that he's a ramp player. So Era's got only really a couple of positions that he has to look for. Makes the quick drop down. Bomb is not planted yet. Era could try and escape. If he can, then he's got a massive advantage here. Grenades around the corner. Smoke is up, and they fight right on top of it. Sadime comes out on top. Huge victory for him. Another clutch. He did it in the pistol round, and this time they even knew where he was coming from, and he still won it in the 1v1.
Oh, it's brutal for Era there. Like, man, it's just really rough. He had this moment of second-guessing himself. He pulled the pin on the smoke to underarm it. He then didn't do anything, and the extra 2 seconds it took for him to pull the smoke back out again allowed Stame to get close and just spray him through the smoke he put down. It was that moment of indecision, that moment of panic that has costed Era so dearly, and maybe Alliance on top of it. If he threw it first time, he had a way better chance of standing his ground.
Yeah.
And again, Alliance getting forced back. It seems like they're so aggressive on the A side to start things off, but Nemesis have some really good utility to send them packing.
Felt like Alliance had a real opportunity in that last round to, to not just kind of get back and even up the scoreline, but, again, crush the economy. I think that last round, round number 16, could be one of those pivotal rounds that you end up looking back on and saying that might have been where the second half was decided. We'll see if Alliance could make something of this round, but you pointed out they've already been tagged up in this one. They don't have all the weapons, they don't have all the utility. Right now they're hoping that they're going to be peaked by somebody. They'd love an early fight here that can go their way. And Nemesis are not really giving them that opportunity at the moment. Maybe the best chance could be at a ramp, but they haven't figured that out yet. A bit of an off angle as well. Let's see. Twist, is he going to be able to? Oh, that's a nasty position.
Really relying on the rest of the rifles now to try and come through and stick the landing. Bob XD was getting aggressive. It's just the Deagle. He's wrapping around, though, into Heaven's side. The CT's aware of this. It's essentially taking some eyes away from the hot peak. There's going to be some questions asked there as to how Texi allowed them to move through. But now they're going to find the reloading Era out in the open as the M4 tries to spray in, but Bob XD is also repelled by Texi, who's having a fantastic performance individually. Not typically one of the guys you expect to be at the top of the scoreboard, but he's delivering when it really matters.
Yeah, I mean, there was a moment there with the timing window with Bob XD wrapping around, and it could have been very, very different. You could sense that, they were a little bit closer together, then maybe he could have swung on them while there was still someone alive down on the bomb site. But it just didn't work out that way. 10-7, and we're moving into round number 18. We've got a force up here. I think Alliance realized they have to do some damage. They have to put some pressure on. Smoke doesn't waterfall down out on the mini roof, so there's plenty of view out there for a Nemesis to know. And a good counter utility coming out here as well. Oh, they line up in the smoke for him. The Sadime has had a sick map so far. The 1v3 clutch in the pistol, holding ramp for another triple kill here. He's starting to climb the top of the scoreboard himself.
Well, that's one of the other elements as well that was kind of fascinating in this quarterfinals, that neither of these two teams has really any kind of experience when it comes to tournaments of this size and being on a stage of this magnitude. And so which players are going to sink and which players are going to swim? And I think, as you said, that pistol, that 1v3, was really the moment where it felt like Nemesis felt, not only is this doable, but the confidence surged. He rallied behind the talisman of Stame, and as I said, he's been solid throughout the entire game. That wasn't the only thing he's done. He's up to 19 frags. That was the moment for me, the rallying cry.
You might be right. This one, I won't say it's done yet, but it looks very, very grim at the moment for the Swedish side of things. Here and Avid, best you could probably do is a little bit more damage, and even that doesn't look like it's readily available for them. Oh, it's such a shame. I mean, Era did so much work at the beginning in that second half, or in the first half, sorry, to get them on the board, to make sure that this was even doable. But that 1v3 clutch in the pistol, and then everything that followed, man, Alliance, they do look a little bit beaten up at the moment here. 12-7 is the scoreline. Nemesis powering through. I mean, Texi's got 24 kills. Sedame's got 19. They've, like, just that alone that's a lot to fight through.
Yeah, and I mean, what's kind of a really fascinating but also terrifying prospect here is that Result, who is normally, I mean, he's on 1.25 rating over the last 3 months. I mean, this guy is typically him on this team. He's not been needed. He's actually bottom fragging on his team with 10. And I don't think we see Magic very often with the AWP either. So, you have all these pieces starting to come to the forefront for Nemesis. An Alliance on the back foot. Simply put, 5 opportunities for Nemesis to get this map done. Their choice, and move to Inferno. And the way these T sides have been going, it is 6-1 on this half thus far. I can't really see how they're going to get it done here, Anders. Like, who's the man for the job? It just feels like it's been a bit flat.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the opening either myself right now. Winner of this one will play 9C, who had a bit of victory earlier today against Tyloo. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Alliance, they're not proving it at the moment. Era's going to be there. They're going to be molotoving up the huts. They're going to be flashing their way through Mini. So a lot of pressure being put onto this A-bomb site. The flashes are amazing. That couldn't have gone any better. Up E will get the first 2 kills there, but really it's the utility that sets them up. But they stay outside and fight. I feel like you've already won the fight for the bomb site, so you don't want to be caught in the open like that. It actually gives a way back for Nemesis to try and close them right now. We'll see if Result can do anything from the high ground. Seltzer is low on health, admittedly, but trying to create a bit of a distraction to allow his teammate to come out. Sedames can't really get the job done, unfortunately, and they're going to pack it up after that. But yeah, nice attempt, I think, to try and see if you could sneak a player up out of the vent. Doesn't work out. They're going to catch Seltzer as well. Alliance, yeah, this is the last opportunity that they have, and great utility onto the A-bomb site.
I actually love the idea they went for there. Is like you're trying to fake as if your player isn't pushing up vents, because he started spamming through the vent like on Squeaky side to try and throw them off that. But because the post-plant positions were so strong, there was no reason for Alliance not to be checking that angle. And of course, they would have heard the steps up the ladder anyway. That's what they're trying to do, is like mask the steps of the ladder and kind of throw a wrench in the works. Either way, Alliance, though, as you said, that utility is with the pop flashes onto the site was absolutely perfect. And so maybe signs of life yet. Still a while to go before the money is broken, though, on Nemesis. And there will be up close and personal with a smoke down onto Squeaky. No way forward for the open. He's going to take a grenade as well. Some significant damage. Era nearly killed, down to 16 off that spam and the nade combined.
Yeah, I think if he'd have kept shooting there, he might have actually got him. Borbexty, though, landing a grenade on Seltzer. So that's an interesting way to get an opening fragging around like this one. They're sneaking around, but nobody checking it. Twists. That almost looked like a 4-3 situation. It didn't look like he was on his screen. He didn't react at all to the fact that it was somebody in CT spawn. But they do get a kill in return. So technically they have the man lead here on the Alliance side of things, but awkwardly, a couple of their players are already beat up quite a bit. And nothing's been decided yet. The bomb is alone out in the yard. They've got players all over the map, which can either be brilliant for Alliance if they can communicate and time things well. It could also be a bit of a disaster. It could mean that you get picked up one at a time. Oh. God, that's close. Bob XT, is he aware? Now he's giving
Definitely
it away.
knows now. Yeah. Only 30 seconds, though, Anders. Like, they've got to start to make a move on here. Even if you have to throw a player as a sacrificial lamb, you've got to start moving on the site.
Yeah, bomb is coming through Mini. I'm a bit worried at this round, to be honest, already. I feel like Alliance have left it very, very late in the hour. It's going to be Texi with a headshot. Magic Key picks up one on the high ground and inside of the fire. Texi, he's ready to take down another one, and that will be all here for Nemesis. They've done this. There's no more time left for Alliance. Era, he's been shooting well with the AWP, but he can't get more time on the clock, so a bit of a sad way, I think, to end there. Alliance not making any real decisions towards the end and just allowing the clock to run down so low that all it took was a couple of kills there, and they never stood a chance. Well played, Nemesis, though. Honestly, powerful nuke, I must say, and especially the way that they got started in the first half. They really cemented a strong lead there.
Well, I think it's safe to say game is well and truly on for this series, because next up we move to Inferno, a map that Alliance are very, very strong on. So who's to say that we don't go the distance to Ancient? That being said, though, Texi, what a performance from him individually. Typically towards the bottom end of the scoreboard for this team, but he has really come alive. And I think he was on 10 or 11 kills after the first 4 rounds, but he kept that going forward. He wasn't just beating up on ecos, he was having consistent impact throughout.
That's a good point. I mean, that we do sometimes see that in these games where someone will have a great first half and then the second half they kind of disappear and then that's it, like their contribution's over. That wasn't the case here. Stame also coming in with, I mean, obviously the 1v3 clutch. He was holding the ramp. He was doing so much work in this game. So between the two of them, it was more than Alliance was able to handle, at least in the opening map. But yeah, I agree with you though. Alliance, Inferno, if they have a home map, that is definitely it for them. So curious if they can summon all the strength here, kind of get back into it. I mean, they already did it once or twice on Nuke where you thought it was over and they fought their way back. Surely they could do it on Inferno as well. If the cold or whatever else doesn't get them. Get some more meds on board there for the Swedes. They're going to need it for the second map, I think. Nemesis, they're not strangers to Inferno. They're still going to be able to play it. So it's not going to be a completely free walk in the park for them either here on the Alliance side of things. But overall, yeah, good Counter-Strike, I will say. Enjoyable stuff to begin this series with. I don't hate it. We're going to go for a bit of a break before we get into it. So stick around. We've got the second map coming up soon.
Bro, we need to find a way to make FaZe great again.
Yeah, I think we need the experience IPO.
But we also need a GigaChat entry fragger, like back in the day.
Yo, Eddie.
Yo, what's up? Alright, man. Consider it done. My 100% major winning FaZe era is coming back, man.
It's the wrong cousin.
Hey guys.
Wrong cousin, bro.
That ain't the curse.
David Frozen Shenensky. I always knew you would come from me.
Oh, welcome back, man.
来，我们又来了，这时间不多了，我们直接开始吧。Well, we're running out of time here, so let's get to it, man.
Yeah, let's get to it. Guangzhou, how we doing? This is very positive. Okay, we got some more mouse pads to give away out here. This man, he's very energetic. He's going for it all the time. How you doing, bro? How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. That is positive. All right, tell me, FaZe, they won one major. Which major was it?
FaZe 赢的是哪一届 major?
Antwerp.
Antwerp. Yes, sir. Easy. Light work.
Thank you very much. All right, we do another one. Who's going up next? This guy standing up over here in the blue. Yeah, you. Yeah, bro, you. He looked behind real quick. Hello, how are you?
I'm American, and it's my honor to meet you because you're my gold.
Thank you very much, man. All right, very quick question. Who won Austin Major?
Austin Major 谁赢的? Wow.
Bro, he know English straight away, so that's good. Instant win. Thank you very much. We'll go over this side. We're going to move on over here. Okay, this man, I've seen you every day. We have not got much time. Quick. All right, for you, who was the winner of Cologne 2025? So not this year.
SK. No. 2025, Cologne. Oh, Spirit.
Spirit, correct.
Spirit.
There we go.
Nice.
There we go. Straight one over to you. Thank you very much. We need to get back to the game. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
Woo!
It's going to find one in almost a second. Dottie will trade, but PKL in on the trade train. No need to continue to force the issue here whatsoever. But now he's going to double back.
Has been given the A-bomb site, but he's also been seen by PKL.
Well, there we go. The table fans have been plugged in. Everyone is ready to go. We're into the second map here. It's the quarterfinals of the XSE, and we've got Inferno